In early January of 2020, our executive director, Olivia Bossert, received a text from one of our former clients, Andrea. Andrea was looking for Patty, the volunteer with whom she had been counseled by, here at CareNet Southern Maryland. Unfortunately, Patty was no longer volunteering with us. She'd met Andrea one time nearly 9 years ago, and after their initial counseling, Patty didn't hear from Andrea, but Andrea heard from Patty. Patty talked with her and shared options and resources, but she left with Patty never knowing her decision. Still, on what was to be Andrea's due date several months later, Patty sent Andrea a card checking in on her, as the number we had had for Andrea no longer worked. On that January day in 2020, almost 9 years later, Andrea pulled the card out and contacted us to reconnect with Patty. You see, that one interaction with Patty changed Andrea's life. After meeting with Patty, Andrea decided to choose life, and her beautiful daughter Jayla was born in October of 2011. Andrea had gone through quite a bit in the years since she and Patty connected. At one point, she took everything she could fit in her car with her son and her daughter and drove across the country to her current residence in Texas. The card Patty sent was one of the precious things that made that trip, and Andrea told us it was because Patty's care and concern had meant so much to her. As only God could perfectly time that Martin Luther King Day weekend, Andrea was planning to visit family in Maryland. We contacted Patty and asked if she was interested in joining us to meet up with Andrea and Andrea's daughter. When we arrived at the park, there wasn't a dry eye.
You're turning 10 this year. So Miss Patty gets to meet you because she talked to me and she sent me this. She sent me this.
I was on the verge of tears and now.
Is that your handwriting?
Absolutely. Yes.
We can help. I know, don't make me cry. I'm holding it in today.
This is so special to me, and you're special. You were right here in your mom's
I said, let me reach
for
back
you.
in.
We prayed for you through that whole time. We pray every day. We prayed every day at the center for our clients and the ministry there. So.
Praise answered.
Yeah,
So-
we had a divine appointment, and I never dreamt we'd be back here.
No.
I shouldn't be surprised how God works.
I called because I wanted to thank you and let you know that she's here. And no, I didn't have her on the original due date.
We know the work we do matters, but to see it full circle after over 9 years and only one interaction, we felt God's hand all over this meetup. After Patty had loved on and encouraged Andrea all those years ago, Andrea believed the right choice was for her child. She put herself through school and became a nurse, helping others and making a difference for good. Today, Jayla is a beautiful and vivacious 10-year-old, and she and her brother are the center of Andrea's world. Our meetup was emotional as we watched Jayla smile and dance around the parking lot. We knew the weight of that meeting with Patty so long ago, and Andrea knew how her life would have been so much different were it not for Patty caring and sharing love and truth with her. The work we do at CareNet is hard, and not all stories end like this. Still, that card from Patty meant something to Andrea, and we were incredibly encouraged we were all able to meet and connect with just a few days' notice. Only God's providence could orchestrate something so incredible and so rewarding. Marian Wright Edelman said, "We must not, in trying to think about how we can make a big difference, ignore the small daily differences we can make, which, over time, add up to big differences that we cannot foresee." Without question, Patty likely could not have foreseen how one interaction with a client back in 2011 would come to fruition years later. It's likely Andrea had no idea what walking into her office that day would mean in her life either. That's the thing about working in ministry though. We may not know what each day or even the years will hold, but God does, and it's His hand that is on each and every purposed life. What a privilege we had in joining Patty and getting to see God's handiwork so many years later. This ministry you help support has been purposed by God for such a time as this. Thank you for helping us save lives today and in every day ahead we are given.